Good day, everyone. I'm Therese Salantino from Vitaled 2B. Today, I will discuss my personal definition of curriculum. In my own understanding and definition of curriculum, it is a summary of the things that a school or a certain grade or year level needs to accomplish at the end of the semester or at the end of the school year. Curriculum also refers to the means and the materials with which students will interact for the purpose of achieving identified educational outcomes. It refers to the lessons and academic content taught in a school or in a specific course or program. In dictionaries, curriculum is often defined as the courses offered by a school, but it is rarely used in such a general sense in schools. Curriculum is a standards-based sequence of planned experiences where students practice and achieve proficiency in content and applied learning skills. Curriculum is the central guide for all educators as to what is essential for teaching and learning, so that every student has access to rigorous academic experiences. Curriculum is the combination of instructional practices, learning experiences, and students' performance assessment that are designed to bring about evaluate to target learning outcomes of particular course. A detailed plan for instruction set by a policymakers. Curriculum is often defined as the courses offered by a school, but it is rarely used in such a general sense in schools. Depending on how broadly educators define or employ the term, curriculum typically refers to the knowledge and skills students are expected to learn, which includes the learning standards or learning objectives they are expected to meet, the units and the lessons the teachers teach, the assignments and projects given to the students, the books, materials, videos, presentation, and readings used in course, and the test, assessment, and other methods used to evaluate students' learning. It also includes the aims, objectives, teaching content, teaching strategies, assessment methods, and other components of learning and teaching in classroom. Having an accurate, complete, and flexible curriculum is a big help to the education ground because somehow, like a lesson plan, it also guides the teachers on how to properly organize the topics that should be discussed before presenting it to the lesson or to the learners. For me, curriculum is the building block of the educational systems, specifically a certain course, because without it, proper and organized learning would not be possible. Today, I will discuss the activity that we do in Unit 2. The activity is all about curriculum guide. That's why I downloaded a curriculum guide for K-12. I also prepare a developmentally sequent curriculum map with a well-aligned learning outcomes and competencies based on curriculum requirements for a specific subject and grade level. The curriculum map that I prepare consists content standard which describe the knowledge and skills that students should attain, often called the what of, what students should know and to be able to do. Performance standards, which ensure both employers and employees are on the same page regarding job expectation. Content, which is the totally of what is to be taught in a school system. It includes also the available resources that provides you an overview of resources, schedule, and a clear picture of who's available to take up the task. A learning competencies are the main ideas or skills you expect students to master. Unintended learning outcomes define what a learner will have acquired and will be able to do upon successfully completing their studies. A teaching learning methods whose strategies are determined partly on subject matter to be taught and partly by the nature of the learner. And lastly, assessment procedures are techniques used to measure a student's academic abilities, skills, and or fluency in a given subject or to measure one's progress towards academic proficiency in a specific subject area, and assessment tools an instruction and contains exact statements for each individual assessment. I also prepare a matrix. Overall, Unit 2 is all about curriculum plan, design, and organization. Curriculum design can be equated with curriculum organization, for it is defined as the arrangement of the elements into a substantive whole. This definition assumes that the curriculum developer has already thought of or perhaps formulated the curricular aims, goals, and objectives, and selected the appropriate curriculum content, learning experiences, and evaluation procedures. The organization of these components of a curriculum into a coherent, meaningful curriculum plan is termed curriculum design. This curriculum design is influenced by the philosophical, psychological, sociological, and historical orientation of the curriculum development and ideally by the characteristic of a sound curriculum. Today, I will discuss the meaning of curriculum development and the different models of curriculum. In my own understanding and definition of curriculum development is the process of designing and creating structures for instruction in formal education. It is based on pedagogical approaches and learning goals. It covers a broad spectrum from structuring a career program to designing classroom lesson activities. In many ways, the needs for curriculum development is self-evident. Curriculum development takes care of the big picture strategy required to successfully teach a course. Because decisions like course objectives, content sequencing, and delivery methods are made upfront, instructors can focus on smaller details like planning for a specific lecture or writing effective assessment. Additionally, an iterative curriculum development process gives educators structures to make improvement to the course after evaluating students' performance and receiving end of semester feedback. I also learned about several curriculum model in the activity that we do in Unit 3. There is Ralph Tyler, Hilda Taba, Olivas model, and Saylor and Alexander model. Among the four models of curriculum, I prefer the Tyler model by Ralph Tyler. It was one of the best-known models for curriculum development with special attention to the planning process. It uses children's interests as the focus of attention in the educational design process. The idea that children learn more effectively when they are allowed to pursue at least some of their interests is central to Tyler's philosophy. Tyler's model has four parts consisting of objectives, instructional content and strategies, organization of experiences for learning, and evaluation and assessment. With regards to objectives, the Tyler model seeks to clarify the purposes that an educational institution seeks to accomplish. The content and strategies portion focuses on the educational experiences that are most likely to accomplish those particular objectives. Then, developing learning experiences that help the students to achieve objective. After that, by organizing the experiences, lastly, for evaluation of the objectives, the teachers assesses the student's ability to write an essay. There are variations on this model. However, the Tyler model is still considered by many to be the strongest model for curriculum development. It is vitally important to understand that any decision regarding one area of the curriculum process is almost bound to affect other areas. Merely to consider aims, content, teaching and learning and assessment in isolation will lead to major difficulties. To ignore course aims will create problems of equal magnitude. Models can be useful when developing curricula.